at Gordon McCall, right in the district, and we taught at Newton. And so I've been serving these families for the last 27 years and these children. I was principal of CT Sewell Elementary and took that school from one of the lowest performing schools in the state in 2006 to National Title I school. Title I school means it has the most poverty, one of the most poverty-stricken schools, CT Sewell. And then I was recruited to go to Pinecrest Academy, and at the time there was just one school, and it was about a 3-star average school in a great demographic. And so we grew that now to about 8,500 students. They're all the top third of the school. So for example, Horizon Campus is number 7 out of 550 elementary schools. St. Rose number 9, Cadence number 12, and Sloan number 18 out of 550 elementary schools across the whole state. So the model works. Now, when I decided to run for office, I have 4 boys. The oldest is a Green Beret Army Ranger. He can take care of himself. And then I also have a son who's 24 who works out of Mississippi, and he is in the Army Reserve. And then the jury's out on the other 2. They're 14 and 12. So I go up to Carson City, and then I fly back down every weekend to be mommy. My husband's deputy chief here in Henderson, and he's like a single dad when I'm up there. I've sponsored several bills and co-sponsored many. Some deal with veterans affairs, for example. A lot of times when our veterans transfer in here and are given orders to come to Nellis, then they don't have access to charter schools, or they get put on a waiting list. And with over 6,000 on the waiting list for Pinecrest, it makes it hard to get in. So we sponsored a bill to make sure and put them toward the top of the list if they get orders to come here. And so I have 1 minute remaining. I just want to remind you all that as the only incumbent in Southern Nevada running for re-election, I hope to earn your vote. I left cards on the table with my cell phone. I'd love to meet all of you. I'll be going door to door. I grew up in Iowa, and I used to go door to door and sell sweet corn for $1 a dozen for my school clothes. And that's how I was raised, going to church every Sunday and making sure that I can meet people at their door. So my parents taught me how to work hard and value the dollar and respect people. And so I hope to earn your vote. Please reach out to me, and also look at votecarriebuck.com should you need to donate. I need to raise $600,000, which seems wow, to win this race. And I'm hoping to do that, and just thank you so much for your graciousness. Thanks.
First of all, I want to thank all of you for inviting me to be here. I think it's important that we look at how a city council works. I want to point out that every city council person and the mayor from Henderson are in attendance at this meeting. That's not the case for all the other municipalities. So as a result of that, we work together. We get things accomplished and we get things done. I've been a resident of Southern Nevada, of Henderson specifically, for the last 40 years. I'm married, I have 6 children, I have 13 grandchildren, I have 3 great-grandchildren. So I'm very concerned about what the future of Henderson looks like. And I want to continue to work to solve some of the problems that we have. We've made great accomplishments. For those of you who live in Henderson, you live in the 2nd safest city in America. Not just in Nevada, in America. That's a big deal. 62% of our budget goes to first responders, the fire department and the police department. They are excellent. They do a great job. We always have room for improvement, and we're working on that. The other issues that I think that are important, and one of the reasons that I'm running for re-election, is I think we have a real serious housing problem in Southern Nevada and in Henderson. I formed a committee to study that, to look at how we can create more affordable housing. For those of you who have kids and grandkids who want to live by you in Henderson, it's very difficult. Price of homes are exorbitant. So we need to figure out how to solve some of those issues. Education is always a critical issue. We've done some great strides in the city of Henderson. We need to continue to do that. We take 18% of our redevelopment tax dollars and it's allocated towards an educational fund. We also take 30% of the sales tax revenue that we receive from the marijuana industry, and that's allocated to an educational fund. That educational fund helps and supports the schools in the city of Henderson. We have a long ways to go. Although we don't have direct responsibility for education, we think we can help and support and improve it for the city of Henderson. And we want to be on the leading edge of that as much as possible. We're also concerned about how all of our tax dollars are spent and how it affects every resident in Henderson, particularly the senior citizens who are on fixed incomes. It's a real challenge. You need to understand that Henderson has a tax rate of 78 cents per $100. Our next closest, I think, is the city of Las Vegas at $1.20. So we're substantially lower in taxes than anywhere else in Southern Nevada. One of the things that I want to accomplish is to try to maintain that, to keep the services at a high level and still keep our taxes at a low level. So I think it's really important that we look at who has had the experience of working in politics and who can make things happen. I served on the Parks Board in the city of Henderson for 12 years. And I don't want to take all the credit, but I will take some of the credit. The city of Henderson has won the National Gold Medal Award for the best Parks and Recreation program in America twice. It's in the finalist on the third time. So that's really something we can be proud of. We have 72 parks in the city of Henderson. We have trails where you can get to every one of those parks. So yes, we get things done. We have a master plan, we work that master plan. And part of that, I want to tout for Dan Stewart and Jim Seabach, all three of us are running. That's the result of teamwork. That's the result of making things happen. And I don't want to leave out the mayor because she participates and so does Carrie Cox. So the three of us are running. We think it's important to keep that unity and make that happen. So thank you for your time and I appreciate your time.
Good morning, everyone. It is so nice to be here in Assembly District 22 and to be with so many wonderful friends and supporters, new move-ins to Nevada, to kind of kick off this campaign season. As was mentioned, I am running for my 4th term, which is sometimes hard to believe that it was 6 years that I was a first-time candidate. It has been a true honor to serve, to get to know the people in my district, and to work with such wonderful people as Senator Buck here and so many others in our legislature to try and move Nevada into a brighter future, to stand up for the Republican values and beliefs that we all hold dear, and to be a part of conversations, sometimes difficult, about policies that affect all of us. We all live here, we have families here, we have children and grandchildren that we love, some of us own businesses, and all the policies that we pass in the legislature affect us. They affect our daily lives, and we want to be a part of trying to ensure that Nevada is a place that we want to stay, we want to live, and that other people want to come here and enjoy what we have here in Nevada. I'm often get the question of, why do you want to do this? There's so much, and we see this, right, on TV, so much division, so much contention, especially on the federal level, and why do you want to get involved in this? And I think it's a great question. Why do any of us want to do this? It's not easy, and it's certainly not always fun, I can tell you that. It's challenging, especially in the legislature being in a minority position. The Democrats control everything in that body. They control what bills are heard, they control what gets to a committee, what gets to the floor, and so, we have our work cut out for us. But I will tell you this, when I first decided to run, I come from a background of owning a small business, which we owned and operated for over 15 years, the Porta Subs franchise down in Henderson. I had that experience behind me. I've lived here all my life. I have seen Nevada grow and change during that time. My father served in the legislature, so I had a front row seat to how things were handled and how our government was run when I was young. And I see how it's changed. Some for the better and some, you know, for not very good. But I felt that the experience that I had raising my children here, all of us graduating from public schools and UNLV, I felt that I had a voice to go to the legislature and advocate for things that I believed in and things that I could speak to. And so, and I believe that we need good people in the legislature. You know, we need people that will stand up for what they believe. And we need people that will go there and have the difficult conversations over policy. And so I am truly honored to be serving and to have served. And I thank everyone that supports me and trusts me to be their representative. I've had great accomplishments there. I've passed many bills to help veterans, to help victims of crime, to protect animals, to lower the cost of prescription drugs. So I've had some great successes, and I want to continue to do that. And so I thank all of you that are here, that are in my district, for your support. And please reach out to me if I can ever be of assistance to you. My website is Hardy, the number 4, Nevada. You can follow me on social media. And I just want you to know that I'm a real person trying to do a good thing here, not for myself, but for those around me and for the community that I serve. Thank you.
To be here with you today, and about this point I'm asking myself why I didn't take that Toastmaster class, right? But I think it's important to know a person's why and where they come from. And I know a lot of the candidates and electeds have talked about that, but basically when people have asked me, why are you running? Why are you doing this? And it's honestly my commitment to Nevada. And as has been mentioned, I've been a lifelong advocate for children and families and improving outcomes for Nevada. And so when it was approached to me that there's an open seat in Assembly District 29, which is just east of you here, next to Assemblywoman Hardy, I kind of said, well, that's great, keep looking, right? But they kept coming and saying, you know, we think you'd be a good candidate. And I'm grateful because for the last 3 years, I've been able to work on policy issues. During the pandemic, I switched over out of, actually, we was mentioned, I've been in education a long time, but I started to do policy work in education for the past 2 sessions. And I was able to work with some of these great lawmakers here and see what a difference we can actually make in Nevada and how we can enact things that help our families. So, to me, running was just an extension of the work that I'm already doing. And again, because my family is here and committed to Nevada, because we've been here since I was 4, because my parents and my siblings and I all live within 2 miles of each other and are just committed to making things better for Nevada. A little fun fact about me, I'm one of 4 children and my parents named us ABCD. So as was mentioned, I continue the tradition. So my sons go A, B, C, D, E, F. And I love these boys very much. And I've seen the difference and the changes that have happened in Nevada. When my mother started being an educator here, our schools were at the top. We are consistently in the bottom in so many areas. We're at the bottom in education. We're in the bottom in healthcare. We need to economically diversify, and we're doing better at that, but times are tough. Housing is tough. My cost of food for feeding 2 children now is the same as it was for 6, right? And so we know that we can do better and find better outcomes. And we never want a monopoly or a majority because that's not going to help our state. And so for these reasons, that's why I'm running. And I've been fortunate to be able to serve our community on Henderson's Community Education Advisory Board through our past 3 mayors, Mayor Haven, Mayor March, Mayor Romero, who's in the room with me and has a shout out. She and I graduated in '85 together from basic high school and go way back. Henderson is strategic in their planning, and I am so grateful to this governor and this team and these individuals here who are working together to make sure that we're successful so that we can make sure that things get better for Nevada families and children, because it's so very possible. I also had the opportunity to go across the country for 2 years and study high-performing schools and see what they're doing different than what Nevada is doing here, and know that we can bring back those things to Nevada. I'm a person, I believe, and I hope that is trusted. I did not set out to be on a political path. My father did not love politics himself. He was very involved in the city and the chamber and did a lot of different things. It's difficult and it's tough. We try to put the fun in fundraising, right? We try to enjoy the speeches, but what I love most and what I've always done is I love to get out and hear people's stories and hear what they're dealing with and hear about barriers and hear about how we can make things better. And because I know that is so possible and I've seen it in working through the legislature, that's why I'm running. And if any of you are in my district, and even if you're not in my district, and you want to do a meet and greet, you want to, knock on doors, whatever it is that you want to do, take a yard sign. So appreciative of you, and I'm here for you to serve my community. And again, much gratitude for you today.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. And again, we prepared speeches and didn't know they were going to read our bios, so that's okay. So one of the things that I learned as a business owner very young was if you don't get involved with government, government will get involved with you. So when I opened my business, I was actually the first in the state to figure out that people come to a smog station to get a smog to register their car. So I said, well, why don't I offer people to register their cars when they come here? And no one ever done that before, and so 3 months after I opened, I get a detective come in, with a badge and a gun and says, hey, what you're doing is illegal, you can't do this. And I was like, why? He's like, well, because. I said, well, show me where it says that in the law, because I don't see where it says that in the law. And basically, long story short, went back and forth, and he was like, all right, it doesn't say that in the law, jump through these few hoops and you'll be okay. But that's what happens a lot with government and bureaucracy. They will just make decisions not really knowing why they're making them. I don't blame the detective. Maybe somebody told them, hey, this is happening, we've never seen this before. They get scared of something new. They get scared of innovators and business people. And fast forwarding, my second brush with the government bureaucracy, as mentioned in the bio, was back in 2018, 2019, when the DMV decided that they wanted to cut our access, right? They said, you guys are doing too much business and we need to cut your business in half. And through a lot of meetings and back and forth with these bureaucrats, the final thing they said to me was, listen, we're going to do this, we're going to cut your access, and if you don't like it, change the law. And I said, okay. So it took me 1 year and 4 months, but I changed the law. And I continue to do that in the next several legislative sessions to get legislation passed to promote small business, and get them to have these other options when it came to registration services. And that's how I kind of landed here. I was up there last year getting some legislation passed, and someone said, hey, the governor's having an event, and I think they might be looking for candidates, and maybe you should check it out. So I did. I went down there, one thing led to another, and now here I am as a governor-endorsed candidate running for Assembly District 41. And, people say, why are you running? I'm running because the experience that I had up there in Carson City, and the bills that I passed were bipartisan, right? The Democrats controlled the legislature, so they were good enough for even the Democrats to pass. They knew how good it was. So, but one of the things is one person, in this case it was the chair of a committee that made one decision. The bill that I was going to pass back in 2019, they had actually put what's called a fiscal note on it, and tried to kill it. And basically, what happened was, I lost my train of thought for 1 minute. It's okay. But okay, all right. But basically, what happens is, one correct legislative decision can make the difference in a lot of people's lives. So we have to get good candidates up there that are going to make good decisions and make great policies. And one thing that I want to say before it's done is you guys are here, you're at a candidate forum, you're more involved than most, but please do not sit on the sidelines. Please continue to get involved. Donate, obviously, monetarily. Financial donations are great, but volunteering time is very, very important. We have to get the word out to say, hey, we need to change the direction that the state is going. We cannot allow it to continue to become, California East, as some of these people would like to do. I welcome everybody to Nevada. I welcome them all, but please keep those bad policies in those states that you left from. Thank you.